Welcome to Great Chefs of the World. Today we explore the New World cuisine of the Caribbean, featuring some of the island's finest chefs.
This time, the appetizer comes from Puerto Rico and El San Juan Hotel and Casino. It houses Aquarela, the upscale restaurant of Douglas Rodriguez, who prepares Honduran scallop ceviche. From the patio in San Barthélemy in the French West Indies, young French star Stéphane Bois demonstrates mastery of classic technique with a veal and mortadella roulade served with sage sauce. And from the island of St. Martin, the Dutch side, we visit Le Perroquet and Chef Pierre Castagna. He cooks the French classic Pithiviers, puff pastry filled with almond-flavored Frangipane. Douglas Rodriguez had already established serious credentials at Patria in New York before opening Aquarela at El San Juan Hotel and Casino in the capital of Puerto Rico. He has published 2 cookbooks demonstrating what he calls Nuevo Latino cuisine. A good example is Honduran scallop ceviche.
This first ceviche is made with scallops and coconut milk. But one of the very important elements of making ceviche is that the seafood is very, very fresh. And today we have some fresh bay scallops, which are kind of small. And put the scallops in a bowl. And we're going to add some salt, a generous amount of salt, because ceviche is cooked by the acidity in the lime juice and the salt itself. And if you'll see, if it sits here for a couple of minutes, the scallops will start to lose the opaque color and turn white. And that means that the lime juice and the salt are actually cooking the ceviche. We're going to make the sauce for the ceviche. And it's very easily done in a blender. We have some fresh coconut milk. And then, if you notice, it sat in here for about 5 minutes and the lime juice has actually cooked the scallops somewhat. And then you want to take some of the juice that the scallops were marinating in, you want to pour it into the mixture here. And you also want to take some ginger juice. This is just freshly squeezed ginger, has a very strong flavor. Some fresh jalapenos. And then this is some Thai fish sauce. Pour a little bit in there and give it a nice fishy flavor. And then we'll turn this on. Then we're going to get rid of the rest of the juice that we used to cook the scallops in, lime juice, because this is well flavored. And then we're going to pour this coconut mixture onto the scallops. Nice milky color. Then we're going to stir this a little bit. And we're going to add all the final garnishes to it. We have some chopped scallions. We have some thinly sliced red onions. We have an ingredient here that's known as, has 4 or 5 different names. This is culantro, which is a flat leaf cilantro, also known as recao, and also known in the Caribbean as shadow benny. I'm sure it's been used a lot. We want to cut this julienne, and this has a much sharper flavor than cilantro itself, so a lot of people think cilantro has a soapy flavor. And we're going to sprinkle that in there. We're also going to put some red chili pepper. Slice that as thin as we can. This is quite spicy. Ceviche is a perfect summer food because of the acidity in it. You can't really match it well with a wine. So the perfect food, or the perfect drink for ceviche would be a nice cold beer. Because the ceviche goes inside of a coconut. And to crack a coconut, a lot of people always see them in the store and they don't really know how to crack it. So you want to take the back end of a knife and just make an imaginary line down the middle of the coconut and very firmly hit. You see I cracked it already. You can hear.
The coconut half is presented on a mound of crushed ice.
We have coconut goes embedded on a bed of ice. So all right. Form a nice bed for the ceviche. Take the coconut, place it in the ice. Then we're going to pour the ceviche inside the coconut. Then we're going to garnish the ice with some freshly shredded coconut, a little red pepper to bring out the color. And then we're gonna get some leaves of some frisee, just to liven it up a little bit. Our final touches, we're gonna put some thinly sliced red onions on the top. And then I like to consider these a pair of rabbit ears on the ceviche. And that's a finished product. That's the Honduran fire and ice ceviche. And then another final little touch I forgot to put would be some freshly shredded toasted coconut on the top.
The patio on St. Bart's is one of those dining gems that can be overlooked by frantic Caribbean tourists. Food writer Craig Claiborne discovered it and wrote glowingly about young Frenchman Stéphane Bois. He apprenticed in Paris and worked in several of the city's restaurants. Here is his veal roulade and sage sauce. Slices of veal have been thinly pounded.
Veau. Mortadelle.
Mortadella is made with ground beef and pork and also includes cubes of pork fat.
2 tranches de mozzarella.
This is fresh mozzarella.
La sauge.
Sage leaves.
Et vous roulez. Ok. Typique. Et voilà. Olive. L'huile d'olive, un petit peu.
The veal roulade is cooked in olive oil.
Vous attendez. On attend 2 minutes. Et voilà.
Reduced veal stock will be used later in making the sauce. The chef is careful during this browning process. The actual elapsed time was about 4 minutes. After the roll is browned, it is removed and the sauce is made in the same pan.
Ok. Alors on enlève. On enlève la graisse. Flambé, cognac. Et il est où? Fond de veau.
This is reduced veal stock. Fresh sage is added.
Persil.
This is chopped parsley, followed by diced tomato.
Des tomates. Garlic.
Finally, salt and pepper and a little more veal stock. The sauce is finished with butter.
De beurre.
Now the chef removes the toothpicks from the roll.
Voilà, vous laissez fondre un petit peu le beurre avec la sauce. Vous enlevez les pics du veau. Dans l'assiette.
A little more veal stock is added to the sauce and it's reduced. Meanwhile, fresh spinach is blanched just before presentation.
En attendant, vous prenez les spinaches. Vous faites tremper dans l'eau chaude. Voilà, on les met cuire tout doucement. Vous nappez votre veau avec la sauce, avec la sauge. Voilà. En petite décoration, vous mettez un petit peu de ciboulette.
Chopped chives.
Il faut bien les essorer. Vous les salez et poivrez.
The drained spinach is seasoned with salt and pepper.
Et voilà.
Dessert comes from Le Perroquet in the Netherlands Antilles on St. Martin. Chef owner Pierre Castagna was born in France and at the age of 13 entered a cooking and hotel school in Paris. During his career, he's cooked in the Canary Islands, The Hague, and West Africa. His dessert, named for a French town, is pitibie. The chef begins the frangipane filling by creaming 500 grams of butter.
Now I put the sugar.
This is 300 grams of granulated sugar. Basically, the filling amounts to an almond-flavored pastry cream, calling for 500 grams of almond powder.
Now I put the almond powder. I put the eggs, all eggs. The flour.
Finally, dark rum.
And the rum. Now I take the turnover.
What the chef is referring to as turnover dough is puff pastry.
The second one. More or less the same size.
The almond filling is added.
You put the mix in the middle. I put the water. All around. I put the second one on top. Now I make the decoration. Put a hole for the vapor. A dorure.
The pastry is painted with egg wash.
And now I make the decoration. And I put in the oven.
It goes into a 500-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes or until golden brown. Powdered sugar goes on top, and the whole pastry goes into the salamander to finish. The pastry is transferred and cooled before slicing.